Pleasure now to be joined by Efren Del Rio of the HSU Lumberjacks. And the last time we talked, Efren, you were battling injuries, hoping to get back on the court, and things probably didn't quite work out the way you wanted. What's happened since then?
Well, since then I've graduated. I received my business degree here from Humboldt State, and I moved back to the Chico area to kind of figure out what it is that I wanted to do for a career, and coincidentally stumbled upon a varsity head coaching position in the area at Biggs High School, and just found my calling in coaching, for the time being, and discovered that I wanted to coach hoops.
So what was that like going from the collegiate level as a player, where guys are obviously dedicated, it's pretty much their life along with the school, to dealing with the guys who play a little basketball, chasing girls, trying to get through school, things like that?
Oh, it was a tough transition, but especially at the school that I was at, 185 total students, Division V school in Northern California. You get kids who, your best athletes play football, basketball, and baseball, and that's what they got to do year round. So come basketball season, it's the first time they've picked up a basketball since probably the summer, and it's tough trying to drill them for 2-hour intervals every day, because that at Humboldt State used to do this for 5-6 hours a day, and on top of that thinking about it at home, whereas it wasn't the same deal at that high school, but it was fun for the most part.
Yeah, I imagine a little different at Humboldt State. You're begging, guys are all begging Coach Wood to play, to be on the team, and now you're begging guys to get out and be on the team, right?
Oh, it was very tough. We had 14 guys trying out for our team, and after I went through the paperwork, only 11 of them were eligible, and then
made those cuts easy.
Yeah, and then after a couple weeks of practice, because I structured them a lot like Coach Wood did here, a couple of them quit the team, and so I was down in 9 for the season, which is tough, but it was a lot of fun.
So did you find yourself ever with the clipboard using some Tom Woodisms while you're there?
Oh, I used plenty of Woodisms. We ran Hully Gully, which is just whatever you guys want to do. That's what he structured, and just ran different scrimmages with my assistant coach. I had to have him in there because we only had 9 players on the team, and then if one kid called in sick, then that meant I would have to put on
you have to limp around a little bit?
I would have to strap on the Adidas and be out there myself, but that's what made it a little more enjoyable, and I was able to kind of relate with them.
But you found your calling, and now you're coaching, maybe not the varsity level, you've decided the varsity collegiate level, effective August 1st, if I'm correct, you're going to be the GA for a new head basketball coach, Steve Kinder.
Yes. So once I became the coach at Biggs High School, I called Coach Wood up quite often, especially after they would have a couple of victories, because that's when he would be more likely to talk about coaching, and he would just give me a lot of advice, a lot of tips, a lot of pointers on what to do at practice and how to structure them and different phases that you go through, and which was great. And talked to him about eventually becoming a GA for him, and he was all riled up for it, and as was I. And then he dropped the bomb on everybody during the middle of the season, and he didn't give me a fair warning either. So I took it just like everybody else did, and then Coach Kinder, once he stepped in, he wanted to have me on board as well, and so I'm excited for what's going to be happening this upcoming fall.
I mean, are you ready for the change? Last year at this time, you're living with guys like Kyle Baxter. You're telling him to make sure he does his dishes, and now you're going to no longer a teammate. You're going to be a coach and mentoring these guys and telling them to work the pick and roll.
Definitely. Yeah, that's going to be the toughest part, is building that barrier. And one thing that I want to do right off the bat is establish that, with the exception of Kyle Baxter, who was my roommate, and Ernie Spada, who I played with on the court when he was a freshman. None of the other guys really got a feel for how I was at practice or in the locker room, which is great. And I could start establishing that barrier and helping out as much as possible in whatever drills Coach Kinder wants me to be involved in.
So it's a little bittersweet that unfortunately you don't get to finish your playing career. You never get to have senior night as a Humboldt State Lumberjacks. But look, you're taking that next step now, moving into coaching.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, not being able to have senior night was unfortunate. But you got to take the good with the bad and kind of start looking past that and see what you can do in a positive way. And I could see a lot of senior nights and relish upon what they've done to accomplish and get to where they want to be. So, it is bittersweet, but for the most part, I'm just excited to be around the game of basketball.
Our bottom line, people want to know, Coach Wood to Coach Kinder, look, are the Lumberjacks still going to be a winning product when they take the court?
I definitely believe they are. Coach Kinder, for the past, however so many years, especially for the past 5 years that I've been really looking upon this program, he's done a great job recruiting, and that's where it starts off, is being able to get the players that that can play at this level against the competition. And so Coach Kinder has always been really great at recruiting. As far as the X's and O's, I never really got to see what went on behind the scenes. I know that he was our defensive coach for all 4 years that I was here, and I know that he wants to bring his own little touch to his program, which is very understandable, and I think it's definitely necessary, and I think he's going to be a great coach for us.
Now, you've been around the program. It's been a couple months. Have you seen some changes, or what are some of the subtle differences you think the guys will notice from a Coach Kinder-led practice, pregame meeting, road trip than maybe they'd see from Coach Wood?
I don't think there'll be too big of a difference as far as what Coach Kinder's going to do as opposed to Coach Wood, because I feel that it's worked out so well for them, especially in the years that I've been here, as far as travel arrangements, our demeanor when we step on the court, how we want to carry ourselves when we're on the road. I think that's something that Coach Wood and Coach Kinder shared. As far as anything else that's going to change, I can't really pinpoint any of it right now, but in the fall, I'll definitely be able to get a better grasp of it.
Now, business grad, so I assume you know how to tie a tie, right? Because you're going to have to do that a lot more than lacing up the laces.
Oh, I'm excited for that, and that's being a business major. I was like, do I want to be in a cubicle, for a career, or do I want to be coaching hoops in a suit? Right. I'd rather be coaching hoops.
You got your suit on. I love it. Efren, thank you so much. Efren Del Rio right here on Humboldt State tonight.